This couple inherited the family lake cabin, and the family absolutely loves spending time there. But their financial scenario looks a little dicey when including the expenses and the planned maintenance that is coming up on the cabin. Let's see what they do next. Hey, this is Rise in Retirement. I'm Jet. He's Taco. We've got another great scenario for you today. And Taco, today we have David and Claire.
Yep.
David and Claire just inherited from their parents the family lake cabin.
Yeah.
Which for years the family has enjoyed the lake cabin. So many fond memories there. They love spending time there. All the generations have enjoyed this place, and a lot of times together. So think of the memories. I don't know about you, but I've spent some time with my family at a lake cabin.
Yeah.
It's a blast. You guys have probably experienced it too. But there's a problem here. Before they owned it, it was very easy. You know, you spend a few weeks a year there, and mom and dad are paying for most of the expense, if not all of it. And now here we are, we own it. We as in David and Claire, and based on their financial situation, it looks a little dicey here.
Yeah. Someone else's vacation home, someone else's boat, someone else's pool is always a little easier than when it becomes your own. So,
For sure.
yeah, you know, I think a vacation home is supposed to be about that, right? It's supposed to be about memories and being able to create some experiences, not
That's what retirement.
not feeling too much pressure about it. And so David's 68.
Yep.
Claire's 66. They've got $930,000 all in pre-tax money in IRAs. Monthly income goal $6,550 a month. They've got $3,300 coming in from Social Security. So withdrawals looking good. They're green light. Okay, right out of the gate with from nothing else included. $39,000 a year. It's about a 4%, a little over 4% withdrawal rate. So they're looking good. Now we have the cabin, and it's old. It's dated. Like literally, think in the woods, this cabin, you know, that's not
making
modern.
Me start to think about horror movies here now.
Not modern day whatsoever. And so it's been in the family for generations. They only use it about 6 weeks, if that, per year, where all, you know, families come together, grandkids, all that. But what they're now realistically seeing in order to keep this thing the way that it should be is we got roof repairs, $30,000 that they anticipate in the next 1, 2, 3 years. They've got windows need replaced, so we don't have those cold drafts coming in. $15,000. Flooring needs updated, $20,000. Electrical plumbing modernization. I mean, it is dated, right? We're talking probably $25,000 to $50,000 in updates there. Ongoing, just annual upkeep. You know,
this is the basic expense part of it.
That's $5,000 to $8,000. So just the renovation exposure, probably talking $90,000 to $100,000 over the next couple of years, several years, to make sure that this place is staying up to date. So we've got some challenges when it comes to that. This is now theirs. Do they take this money out of their portfolio to keep these memories and experiences going and potentially feel that stress about their retirement?
Well, the question is simple: is can they afford to keep it?
Right.
At the end of the day, they love it. Family loves it. They don't want to get rid of it. It's a family heirloom.
Yeah.
I mean, they inherited it from mom and dad. I don't want to get rid of the lake cabin, but do we keep it at the potential expense of our own retirement success rate? And so there are some planning challenges here. So I'll go through the first one. We'll just call it cabin drag.
Yeah.
So, $650 a month despite partial rentals. This one is really about a second property is creating a drag on those withdrawals.
Right.
You know, we talked about just the annual ongoing upkeep above and beyond what they need to cover their regular retirement lifestyle. That additional withdrawal need for the annual upkeep of it. We're not even talking about the maintenance types of renovations. That's going to increase their withdrawal rate a little bit. It's probably not going to make it too bad.
Yeah.
But that's probably the first challenge that I see.
Yeah. Yeah. They're losing money even despite a little bit of rental income coming in.
Yeah.
They're still losing even without the expenses, the big renovations. Yeah. They're losing money on this thing.
Talk about the renovations though, because all those things you talked about that this cabin needs over the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
That's where the major risk comes in here.
Correct. So, I mean, planning challenge, repairs and assessments, right? Let's just call it that. 90 to $100,000, I said, right?
Yeah, and they have
They've got 930,000. Most of it, all of it, I said, is pre-tax. So let's just say they need $100,000 over the course of the next couple of years. We're talking probably 130, 140 that they would have to take as a gross distribution to net themselves that 100. We could go down a whole, rabbit hole here of what does that do to the taxes now? That's going to increase their tax situation.
Does that affect David and Claire's IRMA costs with Medicare? I mean, go on and on.
Their withdrawal rate now probably does become a little bit of a concern, probably well over 5%, by going 930 down to 800, still needing all of those expenses, still losing money on the place as well. So, the future assessments, we're talking the knowns. We know these things need updated. What about the additional things that could come up as well? So, we got to figure out, is it worth paying these or not?
Planning challenge 3, and I think this is as big as either of the ones that we just talked about, because this drives the stress of the decision.
Yeah.
And it's emotional versus financial. That's the challenge, is all those memories we talked about. They left the cabin to us. Our kids love it. Our grandkids love it. We want to continue to do the same thing that we've done for years. And so are we willing to stress our own financial situation to keep this thing?
Right.
Are we willing to have less left over in our portfolio when we pass on and we leave this money to our kids? What's our goal there from a legacy standpoint? Does this cabin, keeping it and the expenses included in it, cost us on that front?
Yep.
Where we could leave X amount of dollars to our kids when we pass away, but if we keep the cabin through our retirement, we're going to leave hundreds of thousands of dollars, potentially less, to our children and our grandkids. So that's the one that drives any potential alternate strategy that we could go through.
Yeah. Yeah. If this is making sense to you, maybe you're thinking, oh gosh, we have a situation like this potentially coming down the road. Whatever it may be, I mentioned vacation homes, maybe it's a boat, maybe it's an RV we had a show about that we talked about. There's a lot of different things, right? Head over to renovations.com. If you want to get a second opinion, get an analysis, a red light, yellow light, green light, like we do here on the show, or you simply want to stress test your situation and see if you can afford to take this on, schedule a 30-minute free consultation, a call with our advisory team to start talking through your situation, renovations.com.
Let's go through possible strategies. I'll start with the first one. And this is a hard one. Sell the place. Let's sell the cabin. This removes it removes monthly cost, annual cost to keep the cabin. It removes major one lump withdrawals and the tax associated with it that you're going to have to pull out of your portfolio to keep this thing where it needs to be. Windows, flooring, electrical, plumbing, you named all those, the roof. They can sell it. Their withdrawal rate stays in a 4.2% zone there. They actually probably, I don't know what it's worth. It's probably not worth a lot based on what we just talked about.
Yeah.
But they're going to net some sort of proceeds on it. Things paid off.
Right.
So, they're going to add money to their portfolio balance, which decreases their withdrawal rate further.
Yeah.
The other potential thing outside of just selling it is the family has never rented this thing out.
Yeah.
So it sits there most of the year unoccupied, unused. Could they rent it?
Yeah.
Some people don't want to be a landlord and have other people in their place. I get that.
Yep.
But that's a solution potentially for turning it into an income property and helping with some of the costs.
Yeah. And in order, we're not saying that this is the right, like what they should be doing, right? This is the conversation that they need to be having though.
Do we sell it?
Hey, is this worth it anymore? Right. Yeah. A step they could take from that, like if they decide, hey, let's get rid of this thing, it's too much of a burden anymore, doesn't mean you can't go create those memories and experiences. Redirect that money. It's not going to be all of that to big family trips. We have tons of people we work with who soon as they get into retirement, like their dream bucket was to take all the kids to grandkids, everybody to, Disney World, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So instead of spending all this money on the cabin, redirect $10,000 a year to a major trip where you bring the entire families together, create those experiences without those fixed property costs that come with the cabin.
I'm running some math on that strategy. Just as an example here, they were pulling $39,000 a year out of their, just for baseline expenses, not including the cabin. Imagine you added $15,000 a year of withdrawals. Maybe that nets you 10.
Yeah.
Right.
For vacation money.
Yeah, for vacation money. So instead of 39,000 coming out, you've got 54,000 coming out. And that gets you your one big trip annually. 54,000. What do we have here? We've got 930,000.
Yep.
Coming out of 930,000 a year. It's a 5.81% withdrawal rate.
Yeah.
So,
and it doesn't have to be every year.
It doesn't have to be every year. And maybe it's not 15,000 every year that you got to pull out either.
Right.
But that is probably still a better scenario than keeping the place long term. Maybe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Last one is,
I like this one.
I like this one a lot, and I think all the challenges tie back to this. Is you got to get the family involved. Talk with your kids at this point. Your kids are adults. They have their own children now. They're creating those memories with their children. If they want this cabin, if they want to make sure that hey, we want this, we've been wanting this thing to pass on down to us, we want to pass it to our kids and keep this thing rolling, then, maybe they could come in and start sharing some of the costs. Maybe you sell it to them outright, or split some of those renovation costs. To me, I look at this with David and Claire, they're going to be in really good shape. It's, do we want to leave more of a legacy from an asset standpoint, or do we want to plug the money into this cabin and know that, hey, whatever's left over from an asset standpoint, you guys are going to get, plus you're getting the cabin? It's a conversation that has to be determined. There's a good chance, there very well could be a chance that they talk to the kids and the kids go, no, we don't want it. We do it because you like it. We thought you guys love this, and it's a good way to get the grandkids together and this and that. And so it could just very well be a conversation where you go, hey, we loved it. It's been amazing. But we're okay going on another family trip. Let's go rent a big house somewhere. And
it might seem like a tough conversation. It's probably not.
Right.
I've tough conversation.
Either way, you're going to get clarity.
I talk to my wife all the time. I want to golf more. Yeah. It's not a tough conversation. The answer is we don't have time for that.
Exactly.
So, yeah, just have the conversation. I mean, I think the family getting involved is probably the best case scenario with this. What are we? We red, we yellow, we green, maybe, scenario to scenario. What do you think they are?
I think they're green.
Well, they're certainly green without the cabin.
Green without the cabin, even potentially plugging in. It's going to reduce their legacy from an asset standpoint if they maintain this thing. If we get sequence of return risk, markets start to take a dive, and we're plugging in, I said 130 to net them that 100. Yeah, now we're talking, easy yellow light, potentially going red if it got too ugly from a withdrawal rate standpoint. But I think the fact that at any point they could decide to do one of these and sell it if things got tough, I think they're in a green light situation. They need to talk to the family and make sure they're all on the same page.
Here's where I'm at. If you want the cabin and the lifestyle that it brings and the memories, and your kids do and your grandkids do, talk to an advisor, create a plan. Let's keep this thing.
Yep.
Let's figure out a way to do it. If you are in a scenario like that, go to riseandretirement.com. Let us help you build a plan so that you can get what you want out of your retirement.